We can disagree on there. Good evening, Central Indiana. Welcome to a very tense room right now. Live from JTH Construction Studio. Please like and share this. There's going to be a lot of good information flowing here real soon. As soon as I get done. Well, this is good information too. This is my sponsors. And then we'll talk to Beth, Volitta, and Kenny. And Beth's in a hurry. So we got to do this fast. I'm going to talk fast the whole time because she's got to leave at quarter
Micro
till.
Machines guy, right?
What?
The Micro Machines guy? The micro, remember? The commercials? But that's actually
Oh, yeah. My bad. Whew,
You're
threw
a
me
boy.
back
You're
to,
supposed to know.
well, I'm sorry. What's up, Corey? CB Hunter, what's up? We are live from JTH Construction Studio. Thank you so much, American Basement Solutions, Larry Ralph's group. 1-877-409-2837. Contact Larry for all your basement and foundation needs. Tim Burnham, hello. Steve Stevens, hello. Fathom Real Estate, Tree Semester, 765-341-8911. Drink the Creek, Cedar Creek, I think October 1st, the next concert is their makeup date. She don't know, I don't either.
What? I don't even know what you said. You're talking so fast, I don't know what you're saying.
Drink the Creek, Cedar Creek, next scheduled concert is October 1st.
No, the 18th.
Is a makeup date.
Yes. From, like, May or something. Oops. It's the, what's
Seven
Eagles
Bridges?
thing? Yes.
Seven Bridges.
On the 18th.
And the boys in the band.
Yep.
On the 18th, September 18th.
Yep.
Out of Cedar Creek. That's the next concert. I knew she'd have it for us. Blind and Boys Lawn Care, 765-315-9656. They're out today. He told me he had put some stuff down to kill off some of that grass in the area that Beth doesn't like. So we'll take care of that. Findhelp.org. That is Judge Williams' group. If you don't know, get on the, it was a few shows ago. Judge was in here. Very informative. There's a lot of good there for people if you need help, of any kind of help. Get on there and look around. And if you have relatives that need help, get on there and look around because it's for everybody. Trust me. Wayman's Furniture, Appliance, and Mattress. Mark is a fan favorite of ours. Good guy, 765-342-4339. I want to do something special with him. I want to get him on here and have his own show where he go. He's a teacher, the principal, and he's funny, which we need humor in here.
We need humor.
Yes, we do. Wellspring, Bob Goodrum's group, 765-346-6661. Stid's Comfort System, keeping us nice and cool in here. Kenny and I are cool. It feels good. Yes. 765-346-0195. Who's Your Web Nerd? 317-640-4398. And, of course, Logan Coriel, Logan's Cosmos, Hair Diva, 765-318-3388. Schedule her for a coloring or a cut today. All right. I'm done with that. I'm ahead of schedule. How you doing, Beth?
I'm fine. Yeah.
You warm?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Are you two back to talking terms now? Because before we went live, I know
Don't you have some kind of wall we can put here? Just, you know.
Volitta and Kitty been in here a few times. Both just excellent people. And Volitta's got some stuff she'd like to discuss. And we're going to turn it over to her and Kenny now. Beth, are you good with that? Letting them run the show? You don't want to run this one?
No, go right ahead.
Volitta, the floor is yours, dear.
Well, Beth invited us to talk about Old Town Waverly Festival and a lot of activities that's going on this fall and winter at Waverly. And we're really excited about it. But it's the next event that we have coming up. And it is September 24th and 25th. On Saturday, we are having this year, our opening ceremony is going to be the bicentennial finale party celebration. It's a celebration all day. And the governor is actually going to be there. Rod Bray will introduce him. He's supposed to be there at 10 o'clock. The Woodridge Music Academy is going to sing. And if you haven't heard,
I got to get them in. I love them.
They're fantastic.
I love them.
They're so
Yeah.
good.
Hello, Jason.
Laura Elliott introduced me to them a year or two ago when we were doing festivals. She goes, "Have you ever heard of them?" And I never had. And I started looking at them and I contacted them. She sent me some demos and I'm like, oh my gosh.
I fell in love with them last year during the Cookie Stroll.
Oh, yeah.
They did the air piece and they dressed up and all that. And I was just listening. I was like, who is that? I mean, how are they around here and we don't know who they are?
That's what I said when I found out they were on Lincoln Street. And I'm like, how did we not hear of these kids before?
So now they're in the Christmas event and all that with us.
They're on our festival. This is their second year, and they'll do the second hour of the opening. But they are going to participate in the I think they're doing Star Spangled Banner and maybe another time period. And then they're also coming back in the evening for our old time revival. And John Wesley, reenactor, and John Wesley, which I'm sure you all know, was the founder of the Methodist Church. Well, the church at Waverly is that old Methodist church, so it's perfect for him to do our revival. So he preached between 1730 and 1738. He was a circuit rider, and you know, a lot of people, I don't know the right terms, if it's religion or it's doctrine or what, I'm not real sure, so please don't get offended, anybody. But
we don't get offended around here.
You might not. But anyway, so they're going to sing, they're going to dress in 1830, I think is what she said. Their time period will be 1830, and they're going to perform
Woodridge
with the John Wesley. And so I'm really excited. And that takes place in the Waverly Church Saturday the 24th from 5 to 6. And if you haven't seen him reenactment and then add them, oh my gosh, it'll be
it's going to be awesome this year with both of them. It's going to really make it nice.
And will that be on Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
That'll be on Saturday.
Yeah, it's Saturday from we close down at 6, so it's from 5 to 6.
Okay.
And so we're really looking forward to it. And they are too. And they said, what do you want us to sing? I go, you guys come up with old hymns, whatever time period you want to do. And those kids, they have elementary kids, middle school, high school kids, and they do performances. I mean, they not only...
They're amazing.
Choir.
And they're from all across central Indiana.
Yeah. And they started just to homeschool kids, and now it's just so good. So I'm hoping that we got in on the ground floor with them and they'll stick with us. But they do the market on Saturday too.
Farmers Market. That's where I talked to them last. So yeah.
Well, we have a young man named Isaac Deek, and he's a roaming fiddler. That's what we call him at the Old Town. Yeah. And Isaac, he is so cool. He was really young when we started having him out. And Karen French invited him. And we said, he came in for his interview. And he's kind of timid, you know, we thought. Yeah. And we said, Isaac, do you have any problem with, you know, dressing in time period clothing? Because we want you to do it. I don't know how old he was, but he was a young teen. He goes, well, I could probably do that. And so he buys a cowboy type shirt with fringe. Anyway, he showed up. It was so, and he goes, this is as much as I can do. And he was just so cute. But we have him every year because he's so good.
Is he the same guy that plays at the farmer's market? Yeah, he's a good kid.
He just goes all around, and everybody loves it, his music, and he's just a lot of fun too. So we love having him. And we've got something pretty much for everyone. We've got a petting zoo. We have the we call it the Rendezvous, that we just built that place last year down in the bottoms in the woods. And so all our encampments, and they go from the time that Jacob Wetzel discovered Waverly, came here from Shelby, Laurel.
1819.
Yeah, so they start about that time and go all the way up till present. But we have a chuck wagon, and Gary and Phyllis Saucerman does that for us every year, and they have the cannons, and they're really good. Randy Hacker and Mike Hacker, they do our hatchet throwing, and they're really fun. They've been with us since the very beginning. And this year, we have the Indians, the French traders and the Indians, which were the first settlers at Waverly, because they came down the river to trade with the Indians, the local Indians there. And so we have them, they camp down. And this year we've got a couple more cowboys coming. And that's besides our Wild West show that's going to be robbing the Waverly Bank. Yeah. So,
did you hear about that?
Do we get to keep the cash? That's all I'm asking.
Yeah. You'll be surprised what'll be in the bags. Let's just put that. But we have, if you haven't been in there, we have the old vault, the original vault. And Kenny had worked to redo the inside and make the little drawers. He got sidetracked with the cabin and everything, but it is repolished, I would say.
Yeah, it's been refinished. We went ahead and really did a lot of cleaning on it. It still needs a little bit still as far as some of the interior goes on the safe itself, but It's
Hello,
really
Teresa.
a neato safe. It's one of these you put the safe in place and you build the vault around.
Right.
That's
Right.
the way it is. It's really cool. It's got a mural in there. Still haven't figured out who the mural is, and I've tried to figure it out for years now. It's not one of the founding fathers I know, but I just got a feeling it's probably like the CEO of that vault company had these saved, but
Cool.
I'm not for sure yet who it.
Everybody
We've got it-
ask.
We've got it tag proof to where it's.
We come up with a
it's
name and
protected.
just use it.
We're doing reenactment. We can
Right.
make it.
Yep.
We can pretend, right?
That's right.
Yep, yep.
But that, if you haven't been inside the Waverly Bank after Kenny had it redone and had like the tin, what's the roof called?
It's tin type ceiling now.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it,
it's really neat.
it's really nice. And the bricks, if you stay in there very long, you'll have brick dust on you. But that's all part of it because it's old.
Hey, it's Wild West.
It
you know what I
is.
mean? So there you go.
Yeah.
Well, the Lost River Renegades is going to be with us all weekend, and they're going to put a town front up across from the bank. And so they'll have the old Wild West town. Like, so when you walk into the festival this year, if you come down from parking, you're going to walk through their town. And they'll have the sheriff's office, and the bank robbers will come in and they'll rob the bank, and they'll have a shootout there in the street between the bank and we'll have to see who wins. I don't know who's going to win.
Very cool.
So that'll be fun. And they're going to, I've got it on the schedule that I gave you. They'll be performing 3 or 4 times on Saturday, and they will be performing one less on Sunday. So they'll be there both days. And they're going to have a jail cell out there where they'll make some arrests, and you can have photo ops with them, and they might lock you up. Though.
Corey wants to know if Kenny's the sheriff. So
No.
Kenny runs from the
No,
sheriff.
I run from the sheriff.
I there is one thing I have not heard yet, and I'm really glad. I haven't heard anything about a hot air balloon. So
No.
Well, that experience last year didn't go so good, so we'll give it a little time to heal, and then and maybe next year.
Yes.
We'll do that
I'm glad of that. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah, so that was, I have to say, a flop. And really, when the balloon fell over, it was really
Oh, I didn't know it fell
Well,
over.
I mean, the air just goes
Yeah.
down and falls over. You know, both events we had it at, it wasn't a.
Just be glad I wasn't in it when that happened. 'Cause I would have had to. You had to clean that wicker out. Trust me.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, okay, we'll move on. We have music all weekend in the Octagon gazebo right across from the church. We have all kinds of bands, along with Woodridge will be the beginning, and then we'll have the Gold Dust Band, and I'm looking here. We have Blue Eyes and Gray Skies, and
Yeah, they're a good, great group.
They are
Mhm.
great.
trying to see who finishes out the day. I think they might finish out that day. And then now, Kenny, if this schedule was messed up, it was not my fault, of course. I take no responsibility. But
Here we go.
I already published it because I didn't know how to spell bobblehead. And this went through a lot of drafts of bobble or bubble or boober or whatever. And so I kept putting it out there. And he said continually, it's bobblehead. So
Bobheads.
I put it out. Finally, I'm like, I'm not waiting no longer. I'm putting it out. And then somebody will correct you, of course, after all your printing.
Right.
and
Well,
everything.
sure.
Yep.
So what is it we're doing?
It's the Bobheads.
The Bobheads.
The Bobheads.
And Dean, with
Dean Melton Band, and we're also going to have, oh my lord, the young gentleman that opens up for them.
It's on that copy.
Oh,
Yeah, it's on Sunday. Look at 11:30. You see it on
Yep.
there.
with the Daniel Milton Band and Andy Country Butter Aiken.
Yes, Country Butter Aiken.
Country butter.
Yes.
That
He'll
sounds
be
delicious.
opening it up for them, and then you'll go right into the Bobbleheads and then into the deep
Is it really the bobbleheads or the bob?
Bobhead.
Bobheads.
Okay,
See?
this says bobhead.
You saw that, right?
It is Bobheads. Yeah, they called me out on it, and I just messed it up. It's all my fault, and I apologize to
Kenny's
RH.
taking credit for the
Oh,
mistakes.
I did.
Oh,
It's,
on that one,
and
we
they're
got
so
it.
good at people, and they're local too. They're RH Marlin and the Marlins of Waverly.
Awesome.
So it's glad to finally get them. This will be the first year they played, and we tried to bring them here since 16. So
Mhm.
it's
Good
going to
deal.
make a lot of the Innises and the Marlins all happy that their Fresnels are all related. So
Right.
it's going to be great to have some local folks here.
And we have Southside Jazzers after that, which they'd been with us the first few years, and then they didn't. They missed 2 years, and now they're back. But I do want to put some kudos out there for Reva Brummett and the Gold Dust
Oh, my
Band,
God, yeah.
because Reva sets up all the music.
sounds.
She is there from Friday night till Sunday night. She's the last one to leave. She loans all of her mics and all of her stuff for everybody.
Yeah.
And she does all their sound checks. She's there the whole time. And then she plays lead for her band. But they'll take whatever spot we don't have filled. They'll just be the filler.
That's awesome.
So yeah, they're awesome. And
She's a blessing.
she's great help. We wouldn't get by
We
on the
lost
sound
without
system
her.
if we didn't have Reva.
Right.
So I want to give her some thanks there. She don't get enough. She gets more of my, Reva, can you do this? We can't hear that. Turn that up. We can hear that too much. But we have a rundown. It just continually from the time we open till the time we close on Sunday. It's busy, 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 and there's stuff going on everywhere. And we're getting to the point where they're crossing over, and just like this time, we've grown a lot since 16.
Oh, my God.
And to do the scheduling, we didn't want the bank robberies to interfere with the sound of the bands, because we didn't
Sure.
want to, so trying to coordinate all that is a big deal. We try to put a lot of thought into it so that you get to see each thing. But some people are, saying, oh, we're getting so big, it crosses over, and then I don't get to see the canine. I don't get to see this because I want to see that, which those are good and bad things, because the growing is great,
Sure.
but you have to pick and choose now what you're going to see. I've put in more food vendors this time. We got one of the only negative we've ever had on our surveys is not enough food.
Like long lines and.
Well,
Or
I
just-
guess not enough
or they-
variety
Oh,
is what they
variety.
said, and they come in there and they want like fair food and they
But
want
that's going to
festival
happen.
food.
I mean, you're not going to please them all.
No,
You
but
know?
that's the one
You could
thing
have
we've
every
had
type of food on the planet, and somebody find something to complain
that was
about.
missing.
Yeah.
But this year, I don't even know where I'm going to put them all, because we've got such a wide variety of vendors for food.
We'll get them in.
We'll get them in there, but it's exciting for us
Yep.
too,
Oh,
because
yeah.
we had those people contact
You have fair
us. and-
donuts. I'm just asking.
We have not the fair donuts, but we have the elephant ears and the funnel cakes. Davis
Davis
does
does
that
an
every
does
year.
awesome job.
Does a wonderful job.
He does it
awesome
every year
job.
for us.
Yeah.
And we've got Ben's soft pretzels from Terre Haute. This is their 3rd year. And we have a new gourmet hot dog. Now, how many ways can you fix a hot dog?
Several.
Because we had this discussion.
There is several.
We didn't want to
Really?
double dip.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. You got the Windy City dogs, the Yank dogs from New York, the Jersey dogs.
was
You got all kinds of
JC's
dogs.
hot dogs or whatever, the new place. There was one up in Avon forever. And you could go and have it a million different ways.
Oh
in there.
yeah. Yeah, there's many ways, and they're going to be doing
deep fried hot
everything.
dogs.
That's
They
just a corn dog, though, isn't it? A deep fried hot dog.
well,
basic?
without the bread, I don't. The stick, I don't know.
I grew up with eating them out of a pan with hot water, which was disgusting.
I had that same mom. I think. Did we have the same
we all-
mom?
I think so. If you ever got one on the grill when we was out cooking out, like, hallelujah, this is how they should taste.
Well, over a fire with the stick.
Yeah.
Do a sassafras stick. You know, you
Yeah.
got a little popping and cracking in there.
Nice.
But we got a gourmet hot dog wagon, and the History Partnership. They always have a booth, and they covered the gap for us for a while.
Terry says, Kids Town has crafts for children, old time game.
Oh yeah,
Cornhole bits.
we hadn't
Oh
even
yes.
Got to that yet.
Terry's in charge of the
Yeah.
Kids Town every year, bless her heart, and she does hula hoop and with the wood, from a
Wood and
barrel.
the steel rings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The barrel rings.
That
They
might be
have
tough.
races. It's neat. They do a lot of time period games with the kids. They
Uh-huh.
do an awesome job with the kids and
That's
the games
awesome.
that they do and the crafts that they help them make and stuff as well. It's
Like the
awesome.
corn husk dolls and
Yeah.
everything. They have a lot of old time. They have new stuff too, but they have
Yeah.
stilts you can walk on and or try to
It's-
walk
I was
on.
going to say, that's leg breaker for me right there.
Yeah,
Okay.
your hip. Don't do it.
The kids town and the farm town, they're really big for the kids. They
Mhm.
really enjoy the animals and Town. That's two things that really go over good.
Good
so,
deal.
Kim Brock brings our animals. She's
Oh yeah.
done it. She had a whole variety of different animals there last year, and she's supposed to bring the same ones back.
Yeah.
We have lots of arts and craft vendors, and one new thing this year, and they're usually at McCormick's Creek, and we were honored that they called and asked to do it at our park this year, is the White River Archaeology Association. And they told me that every year they do a big demonstration down at McCormick's Creek.
Yes.
But since this was bicentennial and it's on the White River, they wanted to have it at our festival. And that was great for us. It's very large, and they have all the way back. Now, it's hard for me to imagine, but from 1200 different artifacts along the White River that has been found.
Wow.
And they have fossils of all kinds, and they welcome anybody to bring artifacts that they have found, and they will age them for you, or maybe try to tell you if it's arrowhead or not. And so that's really cool. That will be over by the Trade Center. And of course, we'll have our blacksmith and our tinsmith. All of them will be there, which we always have. But the archaeology people will only be there on Saturday. So if anyone wants to get their items, identified, they
Bring
should
them
come on
Saturday.
Saturday.
Bring 'em Saturday.
On Sunday, we have the car show, which that has been a big addition. And Hoosier, it's Hoosier Coachman. Hoosier Coachman does the sponsors that, and they do a great job. And every year it gets bigger and bigger, and it's
bigger.
cool.
It's gonna be nice this year.
Mhm.
We're gonna have a lot more there.
Yeah, it's nice. And so there's a lot coming. The Bicentennial Committee has wanted to have a free ice cream social type atmosphere. And so they got Morgantown Fire Department, and they're going to be giving away their great ice cream that they have at the fair.
At the fair.
Yep.
And cake. So that's they're going to be doing free ice cream and cake all Saturday. So if anybody wants to come out and have an old ice cream.
Yeah.
Oh, the Duck Derby.
Soil and Water brings their Duck Derby, thanks to
Thank-
Lisa McPhee.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank you,
yes,
Terry,
that's
for
gonna be
reminding.
great.
The kids will love that. Have you seen that? Your nephews did it.
Oh, did they?
They were in our advertisement like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And they pump the water with a hand pump, and it goes into a tube, so everybody puts their duck in at the same time. And the faster you pump the water, your duck can win. It goes through the chutes, but you got to pump it hard to get it through them. So it's really a fun thing. So Soil and Water donates that for the
Very
festival.
cool.
Thanks for reminding us, Lisa.
No, it wasn't Lisa. It was Terry.
Oh, it was
But-
Terry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but thanks
Oh, I
to
thought
Lisa.
Lisa did. Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing, band-wise, the most popular band to play is the Peregrine or the Waverly School.
Oh.
Choir.
They will
really?
be playing. At,
You're right. How did I miss
I
that?
don't know,
They play
11?
from
2 to 4
2 to
2
4.
to 4.
on Saturday.
And the other bands are awesome, but it's going to be hard to beat the attendance of the Waverly kids. I mean,
They bring in the biggest
They do a
crowd.
great job, and they
Yeah.
fill them little seats. Yeah,
Aw.
they do.
And they perform there and at our Christmas one. They do a Christmas
Yes.
show there. And during COVID, when the schools couldn't have programs, they brought them down and did them at our festivals. And so the parents still got to see the kids, and they were outside in the
Right.
in the fall. So it was really good, and they loved it. And so it's good for us and them.
Sure.
I'm just rattling on. So
But you're doing well, and
Yeah,
you
you're
do
doing
your
fine.
events.
We're going to be having Greenway tours as well as historic tours on the golf carts, and Volitta can discuss all them. But they're things that really help people. That's a little challenge not being able to ever see the Greenway along White River. It's 2.25 miles along the White River, and I know my in-laws really appreciate getting to see White River like that in the golf carts because they couldn't have never walked it. So there's a lot of people that do take advantage of that, and it's
I didn't even
a lot
know
of
about that.
wildlife.
That's very cool.
a lot
that
of
was our
wildlife.
reason for starting it, because
Yeah.
people like my mom and Cheryl Aubrey, who's now passed, but a friend, they couldn't walk.
Couldn't do it.
And they wanted to see it because we were always back there working. We're going, oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And they're like, they could never see it. And so we thought, well, why don't we offer that for first year? It was for handicap. And everybody else has had to walk because we only had limited amount. But
Sure.
after that, we started renting golf carts, and then we take the tours. And along the way, you learn about the history and how they came down the river and how it was founded. And there was an old ferry at first across the river, and then they did a bridge, a wooden bridge, and then it burnt, and then they put up a cement bridge, and in the 60s it was falling in, and I still hear people tell stories about driving over and looking down through it, and it finally
Oh
half
my.
collapsed. So they tore it down, and Kenny, we recycle everything. So
Gotta
we
repurpose.
found the
Right.
big piles of the old bridge when we made the trail.
Yep.
And Kenny had us
Using it
put
for
them
fill.
in for fill by hand. Me and the inmates. He's like, put them over here, dump it here. So we dumped it there. He's
Sounds
like, oh,
like a good idea.
you gotta
though.
lay 'em
was.
out.
And it's still in place.
for weeks. We laid those old pieces of that bridge. It's under that trail, so you get to hear about that.
And if you look along the Greenway Trail, you see big chunks of concrete sticking up. That's
From the bridge.
part of the remnants of the bridge.
Hmm.
That really is. They're big pieces there.
There's a lot of history there.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting. Of course, the trash is horrendous. You know, it's terrible to see all the trash that comes down. But there's some neat things that come down the river and get caught. You know, we found lots of old bottles and all kinds of things. That's really, really cool. And we put them in the museum there when we find them at the bank. But
Morgan County Fred Sanford.
wait for your coffee in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Steve
Yeah.
fixes us coffee every morning. And Kenny always beats me, and he drinks it all. And Steve really gives him heck for it.
Right. You said the ice cream social.
Mhm.
There's a picture floating around on one of the sites that always fascinated me. It's not in Waverly, but it's at Blue Bluff, right there at the turn of the bridge.
Oh, yes.
And I guess they used to have ice cream socials there, and the people from Martinsville and Waverly, Mooresville would buggy down right there in that little valley
Yep.
alongside that big hill,
Yep.
and that's where they would have their ice cream socials.
That was a big.
And see, years ago, they actually used to, the interurban, they would actually pick up people at the interurban where it come across there on Blue Bluff, shuttle them down to there.
Yeah.
And that's a vacation, that's a resort.
Yeah.
And they would shoot 4th of July fireworks off over the bluff. Part of the remnants of the old staircase that goes up are still there.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That'd be a heck of a walk.
Yes.
I mean, that's
But that's
quarter
that's
mile
the way
straight
they
up.
used to do it.
Yeah,
years
but
ago.
that photo is amazing to see that. It's a really old photo, but they're men and women hanging out eating
Yeah.
ice cream right there. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
man, that'd be hot in
Yeah.
wool outfits.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, we're at Waverly's hot sometimes because at the end of September, you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
But I wonder how they did wear those heavy clothes and walk across the prairie
Yeah.
at 110 degrees in Kansas. And, you know, that's
Right.
it's
Insane.
It's amazing how strong.
Different mindset back then, though, for people.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah. When we talk about the history of Jacob Wetzel, who walked the 60 miles from Laurel and carved in the Wetzel Trace. He left his 18-year-old son there among the Indians to carve out a little spot for them to come back to the next spring, and he
Yes.
made a 5-acre cornfield. Now, how did he do that? By hand
By
and
hand.
by mule. And he was 18, and he was left here all winter by
and
himself.
fighting off Indians.
They had agreed to let him come through there, but he was supposed to pass through to the Wabash. He wasn't supposed to stay there when their agreement was made.
Yeah. Yeah, Chief Anderson give them safe passage to cut Wetzel Trace through from Somerset, Indiana, what we call Laurel, Indiana
Yeah.
today. And it's 60 miles, and there were 6 gentlemen that blazed that trail through the width of an ox team. And I mean, that would
Wow.
have been heavy forage by
Oh,
then.
yeah.
And they did it in a year's time period.
It's impressive.
It is.
It's amazing. But the history is real interesting there.
Oh,
And if you look at the mural wall that Kenny had people do, it tells the history of it. So it's really neat, too.
now, Sally Hedges and her helpers did the front mural wall, and they did an awesome job. There was a young lady that did the state bicentennial logo, and she did it all freehand.
Wow.
She did an awesome job. Sally overseen that project on the front one. They did a fantastic job researching it. And Dwayne King did the back mural wall, broke that up in segments, and that that's really interesting because everything on there is things that was in Waverly back here. Did a great.
A lot of history about that in the woods.
Oh, there is. And really Morgan County has it all over. But since we've been, think about how that area flourished. Because you think about the modern times, things grow bigger. But in that area, it was flourishing in the early 1900s, and then it died. And it just died out with the mill and the canal. Indiana went bankrupt building the canal there. And so that was supposed to be the new traveling, and then the railroad came and it bypassed Waverly and went to Centerton and more, that way.
Yeah.
So that messed them up because they kept thinking every time they would get a piece of that, and they didn't. They just kept getting the short end.
But it did open up the east-west corridor for Indiana back in its day. So that is one thing.
But it was just sad for the people there. And then the flooding, that river is friend and foe, both to the settlers. So for the festival, I wanted to mention, you gave some sponsors. We had some sponsors step up, and it's Farm Credit Mid-America, and then the Martinsville American Legion Riders Post 230, and the Morgan County Visitors and Tourism Bureau. We got a couple grants from them to help with things, and so we're real thankful to those people that help us out. And it's just going to be a great weekend, and we look forward to it every year. It's a lot of fun.
That's September 24th and 25th at the Waverly Park.
Yes.
Old Town Waverly Park Festival.
Yep.
And that is open to the public.
Yep,
Yes.
free admission.
Free admission.
And we would love to see you there. Today was actually the deadline for the applications, but if you get them in by Friday to the commissioner's office, we would take them.
Might be able to pull some strings and get
You
it done.
might be able to. I don't know. Kenny never knows what day it is anyway.
He goes by his itinerary that you give him.
Right.
So-
He don't look. He refuses to open his email. Yeah, but there's 2 more events at Waverly. We'll just mention real quick, and then because Beth better get.
Well, you guys can keep going even after
Yeah.
I gotta run out of here.
I can handle it without her sometimes.
Oh,
Not
really?
all the time, though. Yeah, right.
I'll let him.
Well, we have the haunting coming up on October 29th, and that's always fun. And we have, as part of that, it's one evening, but it brings in over 1,000 people. And it's the first time it happened, we were taken off guard by it. We were,
Wasn't anticipating.
no,
that
we were
coming
not
out.
prepared, but they swarmed on us. All the goblins and creatures came, and we're like, oh my gosh, it was like the Twilight Zone. People were standing there going, where did all these people come from?
Wow.
And then
Oh,
people,
that's great.
we have a trunk or treat from 5 to 7 as part of it, and then from 7 to 10 we do the haunted trail and hay rides. We've added that, and the people were out of candy in half an hour. They're like, we'd have no idea.
That's
That
awesome,
It
though.
was awesome.
Yeah.
So now we tell everybody on our trunk or treaters, be prepared for 1,000 kids in 2 hours, and that's a lot.
Wow.
Hey,
And-
country kids up there want their candy too.
Yeah.
So-
Well, and we tell them, to hand it to them. Just don't let them dig in,
Oh,
because
sure.
it
Yeah.
goes so
Go
fast.
to it.
So we're looking forward to that. It's always fun. Last year, the river again. You have to beg Mother Nature to be on your side. This is all part of it. So we made this really cool haunted trail, and it flooded it out. And the things, your project from last year.
Yeah.
So we were using them as the what's the one where they camp and the Leatherface comes? Jason.
Oh.
So we made the camp out of your
That's camp. Yeah.
camp.
Yeah.
What is it called?
Camp Crystal Lake.
Crystal
Yes.
Lake.
Crystal
We
Lake.
had Crystal Lake set, and them little things you guys built were perfect.
Yeah.
And so we had them all down by the river, and we were trying to get to them, and one of them was floating upside down. We had to put the arm of the tool cat out there with one of my guys to grab it and try to drag it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was. We're like, oh my gosh, our whole thing went down the river,
Aw.
and so,
Saved 2 of them, but
but one is gone.
Aw.
Yeah, one is probably in
So-
Ohio by now.
Probably Mississippi by now.
Yeah, by now.
Corey,
Down the Gulf.
I agree with this. Volitta and Kenny are 2 of the hardest working people in our community. Thank you both for all you do.
Oh, thank you,
What's up, Keith?
Corey.
Corey.
And there's Keaton. Timmy's youngest. He's in the Navy in the East Coast right now.
Where's he at?
Newport
He's in
News.
East Coast?
Yeah.
Aw, cool.
Keaton, you behave. Little Navy guys, you gotta
Thank you
watch
for
it.
your service.
Yes.
Well, that's cool. I'm supposed to do the veterans talk this year at Martinsville High School, and I've done them for Clay City and all those, and I've never done them for Ryan School. And so I'm really scared about it. You know, it is what it is, but it's an honor to be asked. And Jeff Bell's there, and so you guys had him on. I saw
No,
you
he
had-
didn't
he
come.
didn't make
he
it that
did.
Couldn't make it.
Oh, okay. I saw that you were gonna.
I
have-
graduated with, I grew up with him. We hung out, so played ball together and everything.
Okay.
So I know Jeff very well.
Well, he knew Ryan from basketball,
Yeah.
and so down there he had he had all of Ryan's stuff all over his whole principal office, and he had us come down there and speak. So, but this year, since he's here, he asked us to come there, and I'm a nervous wreck. But I'm going to support the veterans, even if I make a fool of myself and cry.
You never
like
make
I do.
you never make a fool of yourself. No, you don't.
No.
Just
You don't.
wait. You probably got it on tape somewhere.
No.
But anyway, we appreciate our veterans and we love them all. So we let's go back to Halloween. I can do Halloween. I can do Halloween and not cry. But even when I went down the river, we're like, oh my gosh. So we had to rethink it really quick. So we cut out 2 more trails. Now this is in a day and a half. We
Oh my
worked.
gosh.
We were even way after dark because we couldn't put it together. So we built a new trail. Well, it just kept raining, and so it washed out that trail too. And so turned out we just moved our haunts up to the town, and we haunted the town. And so me and my friend and my sister, we're the Sanderson sisters. So Hocus Pocus #2 is coming out
Coming
September
out.
30th, and you will meet us at the Trade Center. Turns into the Witch's Coven on Halloween. So you will see us there as the Sanderson sisters on the 29th of October.
That's magnificent.
Yes. So come and see us. It'll be fun.
Corey says Ryan's mommy is absolutely beautiful and perfect.
Oh, it turned out great. It did. It really did. Thank you guys, by the way, since we're in here, because you guys made that possible.
Thank you. That
We
was our
appreciate
honor to
it.
be even part of that.
Why do I always cry when I'm around you?
I don't know. It's not me.
Every
I'm
time.
fucking out in here. You guys
Do you
think
just have that
Here.
effect on women or what? You make them all cry.
I got 3 daughters that'll tell you different. The anger cry.
So, okay. We'll talk about that ride, Fallen. Now you got me. What's the title of it? Of that Fallen the Heroes? Yeah, it's okay. It's
We don't have
Fallen
any Kleenexes, so you
Hero
gotta keep it together.
on a Ride by Chris Kalanda. This is not at Waverly, but it is another event that's coming up. And Chris Kalanda was the, and I'm not good at the ranks, but he was the commander of the whole unit. He was 40 miles away when the attack started, that Ryan was, and his captain was actually killed in. And he was doing the radio traffic. If you watch CNN at the time, he was on, you could hear they had the radio traffic. Well, Chris was given the orders, but of course he was 40 miles out, but they had to send air raids and everything and trying to get our guys out. So they were bombing. So they were calling those, and he took it personal. He lost his guys, and so he has come up with this honor ride, and he's honoring 6 soldiers in the ride. I've got the details all on that Facebook event of the names of all the boys. He's starting, I believe it's in Iowa, and he's going to their cemeteries and honoring them. And he'll be at Hall Cemetery at Mount Pleasant on October 6th, about 11 o'clock. He's riding a bike all the way across to Arlington Cemetery, where Tom Bosnick, who was Ryan's captain, is. And of course, Ryan started his first 5 years at Arlington,
Right.
but he's going to stop at Hall, and he's got some things he wants to put on. And he told us that if any family or community people wanted to come, he would be happy to talk about Ryan's part and about any of their parts, but about the actual battle. And there's always been a lot of speculation, and anytime you're not there and it's chaotic, anytime even in a local, shooting, anything like that is chaotic. And so there's always questions, and it's kind of nice. It's later, but I think it's still, if anybody has any questions or concern, families open for them to go ask him. We're okay with it. We're going to be there. And so he
I'm
invited
planning to be there.
At
October
Cemetery
6th.
Hall at Mount Pleasant.
Mhm.
I thought we were.
Yeah.
It was an event we scheduled.
So any questions that anybody has, they could even ask you if they can't come, and then you could put it on and ask them for them. So anybody, please feel free to come and share it with us. And this will be the first time we met him. He just contacted us and told us what he was doing and said he would like to meet us. So we're going to be there, and he said invite everyone. So that's that's exciting too, but kind of sad but exciting. And it's nice that people want to honor our soldiers, not just my son but others, so it's nice that they get remembered, and we need that because the Vietnam people did not get treated that way.
No, they
And we have a lot of making up to do even still now, because a lot of them's gone, with our World War II
I had
people.
the VFW and the Legion and the Marines in here last night, and I asked them how many World War II veterans we have left in county. And they said probably on one hand. Yeah.
Yeah,
And we're going to try to put something together.
okay, good.
We're going to try. But a lot of them, even the ones in the nursing homes, are. My bad.
I'm sorry.
They
You're
can't.
fine. I'm gonna try to
Thank
go
you.
through 3
Bye-bye.
cans to see if
Thank
this
you.
works. Nope. I got them screwed up. Go back to 4.
Yeah.
A lot of them, mentally aren't as sharp now, age-wise and things like that, so we have to be careful. But we're going to try to do something. I talked to Lindsay Smith. She's a VA rep.
Right.
And, of course, you got the VFW and the Legion. And Dr. Joe Osborne last night. And then, of course, Roger was in here. So we're trying to...
And Bruce, he
Bruce
stays
and
up
Jerry
with
do
all
a
that.
magnificent
Right.
job with that.
Mhm.
Yeah. I would love to have a bigger setting and put, even though it's just hypothetical, there's five that show up. Put them in front of us, put the cameras on them, and just honor them. And even if they just want to sit up there. Now, my ex-wife's granddad was in Patton's army. Sweetest man you ever met. And she told me, she goes, he'll bond with you because you're military, but he probably won't say anything. Well, it took about 3 or 4 Christmases and New Year's and Thanksgivings.
Yeah.
Well, then every time we had an event, he'd come up, tug me on my shirt. Hey, come here, I got to show you something. And he would just open up, tell me stories. And he had a satchel they gave that supposedly everyone that went across from D-Day to Berlin, or wherever we ended up in Germany, but it tracked his every step.
Oh, wow.
And it ended up where you can see that, I'm doing it in front of the camera, the American forces coming to a line, and we were in blue, and then a red line right across from us. I was like, is that the final spot where you fought the Germans for last time? He goes, no, that's where we squared off against the Russians, and the war stopped. And he goes, because we were looking at barrel to barrel with them, and they made us go, hey, we need to quit. all the way down that part of Europe, or
wow.
wherever it was, Berlin.
Those
But it
stories
was
are
very
lost.
fascinating, and we're losing that.
I know.
And this guy was a 5 Oak Cluster winner and all sorts of unbelievable awards, and they were losing them by the barrelfuls. Just a different cut of human being.
Oh, yeah.
And it's sad. You got World War II and then Korean War right after that, and then Vietnam, and you start looking. We're losing all these veterans.
I know. Grandpa Bill, who was Ryan's grandpa on his dad's side, he was World War II, and we knew it and we honored him and everything, but he never spoke about it until Ryan joined the Army.
Yeah,
and he did that same thing. We didn't even know he had pictures of France and back then, and they were a picture family. So you had pictures of everything, but we never saw those until Ryan was 18.
Yep. And
when he was getting ready to go, we were sitting at the dining room table, and Grandpa came downstairs with a picture album. And it was neat. It was tearjerker though, and let us see them all. And he told us stories about, being in the foxhole and that he hadn't had his boots off for days and days, and his feet were frostbit and frozen, and somebody there in a cottage gave them socks, dry socks. It was just little things like that.
He told me a couple stories that I remember for sure, that when Battle of the Bulge, where they went to Bustone, they were in a fight already, and to get from where they were to get to land where they could turn the tanks loose and run, they had to get around this big German division. Well, it had smothered this mountain pass that was ahead of them. They shut the lights off on everything and drove right through the valley of the mountain. And they said there was Germans on either side of them, and they made that whole division go right through that thing. And he said, in the cover of darkness, we all went through there. No one got caught. They didn't know where they were there.
And they were quiet.
That's a grace of God there.
Oh, it is.
Then he says they got so turned around, his commo vehicle was the point lead on going that way, and they had eventually had to stop and say, "Hey, we're wrong. We're not the lead vehicle here." But the funniest one, he said, he goes, "It's cold. They're in France, and he said, there's no stars, there's no lights, and you're out there in the middle of nowhere." And he goes, "I had to take a leak, and we're in this old burned out building, our refuge for the night." And so he goes out of the building, he's getting something out of the back of the deuce, and he's like, "I'll just do it off the back of the deuce." And as he does, these two guys sees two figures walk in front of him. And he's like, I know I leaked on them. He goes, so I felt bad. He goes, I jumped down, and they're walking towards the door. And he goes, hey, and they turn around, they put their hands up. It was two German soldiers. They were trying to surrender, and he thought, if he wouldn't have peed on the guy and stopped him, they'd have walked through that door and got riddled.
Oh, wow.
But they surrendered, and he didn't say anything about leaking on him. But he goes, you got to laugh. He goes, because of the chaos going on. He goes, but he goes, they never forgot that.
Yeah.
And he goes, so many stories he had, and all of them. That's why we want to sit them down and let them know, this might be the last time they hear it, just how much we owe them and mean to us as a country and as a people.
Especially when they see, I saw a YouTube thing about World War II, and he was crying, saying all these men, his people died for this world today, and it was tearing him up,
Yeah, it's an argument for it.
It's another day.
Yeah,
but
we get shut down, trust me.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, but
we need a different platform, but I would love to.
But it was a good video that I watched. It was sad, but anyway, so the getting lost, we'll get off of that subject, but when we were building the White River Greenway Trail, Kenny was the lead skid steer, and I was in the side boom mower, which I knew not how to drive. And so he's like, follow me. Well, I went between trees at that
Sounds
tractor.
like a good leader up to this point.
Would not fit between.
Well.
And we get out there. I can't see nothing. I mean, the horse weeds are 10 foot tall. It's like the wilderness. I know we're going to fall off the riverbank anytime. I have no faith in my leader, right?
Right.
So I'm following blindly. Yeah, I followed. And he stops and he gets out and he goes, climbs up on top of that thing. And he goes, I think we're lost. I can't see the river, he said. I go, Kenny, I'm going to kill you. I can't even open the door. I can't get out. And he goes, what? Turn around. I said, I can't even move. But there's a 5-acre tract back there in the park. We only own a small. Well, he got off on the 5 acres and he didn't follow the river, but you couldn't see.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I'll give him that.
You made it out, evidently.
We made it out. But there's stories of being lost right here in Morgan County.
That's magnificent.
Yeah. So, and of course,
Hello, Teresa.
We're just making light, Yeah. But the final thing that we have this year to close out 2022 would be our Christmas thing, which would be Santa in the Park. And that fella will be there.
Santa brings joy to everyone. So.
Yeah, and he will probably arrive on the fire truck like he has in the past, because his reindeers get really tired and they feed him at the fire station. Yep. So they bring him on down.
Give him a break.
Yeah, and the Waverly Choir always sings there for us and has a little skit in the church. And we have Santa's workshop, and the kids get to make things and see all Santa's helpers and the tinsmiths there and the
We'll be
And
blacksmith
they
in there,
blacksmith,
so
keep us warm.
It'll
So
be a good time for all.
it's always a good time too.
Great time.
But right now we're working toward the festival and
24th, 25th September.
right
Now,
before fall foliage.
What if I wanted to come there and camp? Is there camping allowed in the area?
There's not right now.
Okay.
Kenny has plans, someday we'll expand and
I thought I heard that rumor last year. That's why I wanted to bring it up.
and
We're working.
we are.
During the hot air balloon fiasco. I'm just saying.
That's because you fell on your head. You didn't really hear that. You thought you were going to have to camp there.
What time do the festivities begin on the 24th?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock?
And they're over at 6.
Okay.
And then on Sunday it's 11 to 4.
Yep. And then the breakfast
Oh,
starts
yes.
Saturday morning
Yeah,
at 8 o'clock.
great. Thank you. Yeah.
The breakfast.
See, I can't
at
miss
the
that.
Church. Oh no, the biscuits and gravy went very, very, very fast last year.
Yeah. It's the
Bump my way to
church
the
always
front,
lays out
sounds
a
like.
nice
Oh.
way there 8 o'clock to 11 on Saturday, and then Mooresville Lions Club does Sunday,
Yes.
and they do biscuits and gravy, and they'll be doing it from 9 until noon.
It's just so much history up there, and it's amazing for our little chunk of the area, the county right there. That, and you two, majority of the work into this, I'm sure you got helpers. I'm sure,
Oh, we
But you
couldn't
guys-
do it without helpers.
but you guys have done the heavy lifting in the digging and the researching, and that's amazing. And I'd never been that deep up in that area until the balloon event,
Oh yeah.
and it's just you get back there and like, holy cow!
Did you ever see Waverly when it was a town?
No,
Oh, you didn't?
no,
Wow.
I've got a PowerPoint.
Yeah.
yeah, I'd like to see
Yeah,
that.
because it's amazing from what it was to what the park.
Yeah.
And the people that live there come back. When Kenny first started it in 16, the festival, he called it a homecoming that year. And I would like to do that in another year and make it a homecoming, because those folks, we encourage the people that live there to bring their pictures and to lay them out on tables.
it.
And we're more organized now, and we could really do a great display now with that.
You could really put those together too and make a make a video of it. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And join them together, and because matching them up and
And the people came and and now you'll see on our Facebook page that one person that still lives in the area that's there. You guys going to try to come? And then old timers from Waverly will come and say, we'll meet you there.
isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, and so it's kind of like they did with Artie Fest originally, tried to have a homecoming for Martinsville.
Yeah.
And that's what he did in 16.
That
And
first year we had a big 20 by 20 tent set up for them, and
Mm-hmm.
they really enjoyed it.
That's awesome.
yeah, I'd
You
like to do that
rekindled
again.
yourself, and a lot of them hadn't seen each other for years and years. That was good for them.
You guys always have a good turnout too. So
Yeah, it's still small, but it's growing. And when we talk in the committee, that's one of the things. And I don't like to hurt people's feelings. I like to be all inclusive, and so. I know we can't talk about that either, right? So, but anyway, I don't like to tell anybody no. That wants to come and sell stuff, But the committee, and I agree with it, they want to make this a living history park. And so they want handmade items and they want homemade things. And there's so many people that have these modern things that they want to come and sell. But then,
Sure.
and I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but they're all made in China or something, and they just are quantity, not quality.
You're
And
speaking the truth, though.
Yeah.
It's mass produced.
mass produced.
somewhere
that's the
else
word.
other than here.
Not here. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And so the committee doesn't want that to infiltrate. Now, last year we had some homespun things here, and there was some people that told us they were going to do one thing and they didn't, and they had those things, and it kind of, the people are like, well, that's not really fair. So now I'm telling everyone and staying strict with it this year. It needs to be homemade. It needs to be crafted, because this is like an art. This is to show your
We're wanting
talent.
Heritage craft.
Right,
Yeah.
and you know what? Don't feel bad about that, because this is your guys' event. This is your festival, and if there's not enough to cover that area for the next couple of years, then look at it a different way. But there's enough people around here that do stuff like that. I think.
Oh, there's so many
You know what I
great
mean?
artists here.
There's a guy in Mooresville that I know that makes leather purses and belts, and Bethany's friends with him. You got to get a hold of him, because we want to have him on the show.
Is it Tom?
I think he's a leather worker. And the guy's
Yeah,
just
they had this store.
amazing. Yes.
They're
So I mean, there's people like that all over.
yeah.
You just got to dig them out, you know.
Oh, there's so many, and that's what they want to have. Then, so I do have to tell people no, and I don't like to, but I do, and we've talked about having if we expand in some of the other ones like Hunter's Moon and them, they say they have their home crafts, and then they have another section where it's modern, and we're right in the middle right now. We have this part's getting really crowded, and so we're wanting to maybe think about in the future to have another section where they can have the modern stuff,
Sure.
but not to have it in that section and keep
Separate
that.
the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Excuse me, big yawn. We want new families to join us and Waverly to join us to be part of this history. We're glad you moved here to learn about the great country.
right, and and again, you said it's our festival. It's really the community's festival, and we want. That's why I hate telling people no, because I want the community to feel part of it. It's their park. It's their festival, and we want to have in there what they want to have.
Right.
If the people come and the majority says we'd rather have these trinkets, then so
There you
be
go.
it.
Right.
You know, but most of their compliments come by saying they love the atmosphere, they love the smallness, but yet there's enough stuff for everyone. And so we kind of thrive on that. We like that, and we want to keep that small, homey, family type atmosphere, but we want to have it big enough where it's enjoyable for everyone. If you can do both.
Sure.
So anyway.
Lot going on up there. We're getting ready to be opening up a brand new boat ramp up there.
Wow.
We're really
Onto the
excited
river.
about that. Onto the river. It's
Public access right there.
public access right there at the park. And,
Your buddy, Daryl,
Old Town Waverly Tinsmith is awesome.
because he's the tinsmith,
he is,
and he is awesome.
he is awesome.
He really is.
He brings
Oh.
so much to the festival, but also all the events we do. He is a true craftsman.
He really is.
He brings
He's,
so much. Him and Karen both do. They're just
we have a great committee because Daryl, Terry, right there, Terry White, they're all on it, and Terry's from the area, which is very helpful. And she's a weekday teacher. She's a community member. She's on the advisory board of the trustee. So she knows the people too. So she's like perfect, to have. And then we have two of the local pastors of the churches there that are on our committee. And we welcome anybody to be on that committee. We want, it's hard to get volunteers. And these guys are great. They show
100%.
up.
Yeah.
They show up.
Yep.
And they help us. And I mean, they have the ideas. And, I even tell my people at work, 5 brains are better than one, because one person can't do it all. So the more people, the better. And we encourage, we do have Tessa this year, and she's the Cub Scout, Boy Scout leader of that area. And they're going to do their Troop 230, is it?
Yes.
And they're going to do the flag ceremony when the governor's there. So we're excited for the boys to
Very
get to
cool.
do that. And they're going to have a booth, and they sell the Boy Scout popcorn. And
What time and day is the governor coming down?
he will be there Saturday morning at 10.
At 10 o'clock.
24th.
That's our opening ceremony.
Okay, 24th, 10 o'clock. The
Right.
governor will be there.
We'd love for you to come.
That'd be awesome.
Do live.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So,
We'll
and
talk to the governor.
do it. Just like that
I'd like to.
balloon ride.
Yeah.
Just like that balloon ride.
I
do
did
it.
I did it.
I know you did.
I was at Cedar Creek. I announced Helms. I walked off the stage, walked across the grass, got in my car,
and
drove to
showed-
Waverly, and about died after that. Other than that, we were good.
It's all good.
Yeah.
You're still here to tell about it. But no, the he's supposed to be there, and it's really going to be neat because Donna Adams is the chair of that committee, which they have had a committee works very hard, Virginia Perry and a lot of them, and they are going to release doves. They're going to have the flag ceremony. They've got, like we talked about, the kids singing, the governor, and they're supposed to have the Wetzel descendants from the area there to recognize,
Yes.
Wow.
who are the Mackenzies.
The founders.
And it's their descendants, and Don wants to have them recognized there. So I'm looking forward to that. And Mm-hmm.
You guys just have a fabulous couple of days with a lot going on.
Yeah, it's
Oh, a
busy.
lot going
It's
on. Yeah.
busy.
You taking Monday off, both of you? The 26th?
Oh no, we'll be
That's a
cleaning up.
cleanup.
We'll be cleaning up. We'll be busy, busy,
Tuesday
busy.
then, the 27th.
No, we die that day.
Yes.
But it's we're
It'll be
still
great.
on the.
You start
the-
preparing for next year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But actually, what happens is we start right in. We don't have time to stop because we have the haunting,
Oh, that's right.
and we don't have time to stop. And last year it started, but with COVID, they didn't really have a big turnout. But now the cancer walk, the lost for words,
Relay for Life.
Relay for Life is at
No
Old Town
action.
Waverly.
Really?
Yeah, and it's going to be the
They did it
weekend
last year, and they'll
after
do this year again.
the fall foliage, the week after the fall foliage, and they camp there. They do camp there
They do camp.
that weekend, and so our cleaning up, changing gears to the haunting from the old style, and having that in the middle is busy.
Yeah.
But anyway, the relay is there, so we want to put a plug in for them.
Good
too.
deal.
They'll have.
Yeah.
They'll
That's a
have their-
busy part of the
Yeah.
world right now.
Yeah.
Good food. It's a good
Yeah.
time up at Relay for Life. I
And they
really-
try.
That's a great event.
Yeah,
It is a good
it's
event.
changed over the years, but the people that are still doing it, they're loyal to the cause, and
they are.
you got to give them kudos for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying to fight a battle that I lost my
Dreaded
husband to
disease.
cancer.
Yeah.
He
Mom,
got-
mom and dad.
My
for
mom
me.
and dad,
Yep.
too.
So I'm fortunate.
many
My
people.
dad did, but my mom's still alive.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, works
but-
good.
yep. Penny, I've talked mostly.
That's where it usually goes.
I know.
Well, you got a busy September 24th and 25th. We've posted the links on the video. I'm going to make copies of the itinerary
Okay.
and the ad page
Yes.
for both the events,
Great.
and I'll post them on the site once we get off here tonight.
Okay.
And if anybody has any questions, I'm sure you can get a hold of Volitta or Kenny or myself or Beth or somebody, and we'll put you in touch with the right people.
Absolutely.
Everything you do, Touch, you're just you do it so heartfelt, and I know where that comes from. And we're not going to cry tonight, so we're not going to do it. But you're just a special person, and I hear these stories about she was in charge of the convicts and this and the work details, and I'm like, and she's got to be hardcore. And you get in here, and she's a big old teddy bear, and
Very caring.
yeah, very caring, loving
caring.
lady, and
She
it shows.
One of
Blessing to the community.
Yes, sir.
one of my ex crew members or crew people called. A lot of them call after, and I don't care. I mean, everybody in the county and out of county has my phone number, so I don't know when I retire what's going to happen. But he was talking. Sometimes they get suicidal. They'll call me and they go, "I just need you to chew my butt," because that's what I do to them over there at the jail. And they say, "I just need to hear your voice, Mama," or something. They call me Mama V.
Keep grounded, though. I mean, that
Yes.
structure is what they need.
Mhm.
Well, I
They
was
do need that
talking-
structure.
Yeah.
I talked to one of them, and he goes, "This is so weird." And I go, "What's the matter?" He goes, "You act like a normal person." He goes, "I never." He said, "You sound like a normal person." I go, "Excuse me?" He goes, "Well, when you're in that office, I never thought you were very nice."
I will tell you this, and I always think back to when a person first comes in here with us, because when we first fired it up, we just had to be us and go with it, and it worked. But the first time you came in here, you were as nervous as all get out. And
What was my topic, though?
Oh, I know, but you mean the topic alone, you were already nervous, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She couldn't remember. I don't think she knew her name when she got in to sit down.
Probably not.
Now you're.
I'm me.
Oh,
Now I'm
yeah.
me.
She's a
Yeah. It just I always remember first Bob Klein sat right there when we was out the other studio, but he's a big boy.
Oh,
Yeah.
good boy.
And he leaned back and he had the mic pretty much sitting like this on him, and we told him don't look up the TV because that's got a big 5-second delay and it'll throw you off. And his eyes got a big look up there, and I was like,
It does mess you up.
he was fun to. I think. There you go.
I'm posting on Facebook, Waverly. Yeah.
Yeah.
They are.
I'll make a copy of them. I can bring them over. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Mike.
But yeah, it's the events like this and people like you guys is why we started this. We wanted to get that stuff out. They They knew you from the jail, and you knew that you were a politician, basically.
Public service.
You know what I mean? That's all they know.
Yeah.
And then when you scale back the layers and sit down and talk to you like you're sitting on the front porch, say, here's what we're doing, and here's what I'm about, and so many things so heartfelt from you, and just as good natured and as good for the community as all get out. And that's what
He
people
has
need
a
to
heart
see.
for these
Yes.
park systems in Morgan County. If there was a few people at the beginning to help him, and I can't name them all, but there was some that helped. But Kenny's the one that has lasted. And if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have the parks we have.
Sure.
It's been a big team effort.
Mm.
It really.
We tried driving her off in the river. She
Well,
wouldn't
see,
go.
that's the thing. The leader, them people must have trusted him more than I do, because
They're not around now, though. You makes me wonder.
You
where
notice,
they
you
go.
notice that too? Yeah, they moved out of county or they're buried somewhere.
Right.
I'm not sure which.
Get on that skid steer and drive it down by the river.
Yeah, I never had drove a zero turn lawnmower 10 years ago,
Yeah.
and he's like, we're at Burkhart Creek. Now we have
Stop
a
and go. That's all there
Dixie.
is to it. Head out.
Oh, not on the hill like this. Kenny goes, get in the driver's seat. I'm going to sit on the gas tank. We go on the hill. I'm like,
Did you not ever have to do that with your pops or your grandpa?
not on a zero turn. It was a push mower that
it's
didn't have a
insane,
motor.
man.
It had just a cutter.
My dad drove an old International Harvester when we drove or worked at lived at Grassy Fork and cut all Charmin. And that big tennis court, if you remember, had that big hill.
Oh, yeah.
And on one days when it was damp or something, sit on this side of the mower with me. What? We're ready like this.
I know.
Yeah.
That's
You
what
do
he
it.
said. He said, don't stop.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, we're going to
Momentum.
die.
Keep going. You stop, you might as well check out. You're done.
He shot down one hill, though. He said, I won't do that again. That's one thing he admitted, because that hill on the back of Burkhart, the big one,
Yeah.
he comes down it, and it did not stop. And it went right over into the hard tree planting.
Oh, well.
It's fun.
That happens.
It happens.
We've had some fun.
Well, you two people are amazing, and our county is blessed to have you in it. And looking forward to this. October 6th, we're going to try to be there, as
Good,
Beth said. 24th, 25th, can't guarantee both days. We don't have a concert, so I don't have to run and hide this time.
Oh,
so.
yeah. We'll try to get up early and be there for the governor.
Yeah, I want to be there for
You
that.
come
Yeah.
talk to him.
That'll be fun. We'll go live with that.
Mm-hmm.
If
Yeah,
they
because-
allow us. I don't know if he's got a.
Oh,
I guess he wouldn't stop it because you could just go live with your phone anyway. so.
true. But, I mean, it was a good thought because,
Yeah.
because you don't know if they have media people. But you're right. Anybody could go.
And if they say
Next
no
time.
with that, then we'll just punch our phones up anyway and do it
And do it.
regardless. So
Oh, no, we're good at law-abiding citizens.
Yeah.
You're going to have the
It's easier
sheriff
to
down there.
ask for, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. This is the Old West up there. Remember now,
Oh, we
right?
could have one of them do it.
Right, right.
Yeah, I did alert the sheriff and the 911 dispatch that we will have gunfire that day, and we do not
Rich
want
is going to have
anyone.
tons of complaints come the 27th.
I told him, I sent him an email, and I said, look, we're going to have this, so be prepared. But we also want spectators to know, because it's really scary. I mean, our committee had a long discussion about it because the way things are now.
Oh yeah.
And the fear of people. And if you hear gunshot, no one knows. Look at Greenwood, no one knows what's going on. So we're going to have wanted posters of our outlaws all around. We're going to have that. We're trying to.
You don't want to get them caught, but for real, by somebody.
Yeah,
Just
now see,
careful.
that's the fear. If we got them posted, people may do citizen's arrest.
Right.
But
I got him at gunpoint up here at Circle S.
so
we're going to start it off with a big bang with the.
Oh yeah, that'll
Yeah.
clear the air right there.
That sets
That'll
the
get it.
tone for the
Yeah.
whole festival.
it does, and we do it both mornings and
Yeah.
evenings when we're done. And we said Gary Saucerman does that. He's great. If he's got so much, his collections are really cool. He's from Monrovia. He was in my graduating class, and his wife does the chuck wagon thing, and she cooks and
Awesome.
soup there on the fire. It's good. A lot of our campers do that. And you can camp if you want to dress up and camp rough.
Time period.
Yeah. I will tell you,
I don't know
there's
if I
a
could
lot of
survive.
mosquitoes.
They didn't wear shorts back then, though. So
There's a lot of mosquitoes at night down there.
are you allowed to use repellent? Or is
We
that
do
illegal?
do that.
Oh, yeah, you can
We do that.
You can do that.
But yeah. If you're just tough though, you didn't have that. You could
Hey,
rub
they
some
issued
skunk
us.
oil
They
on you.
issued us repellent in Panama. Along
Did
the
they?
Canal,
I bet.
so-
The mosquitoes are like
yeah.
this.
They carry you off.
But
And in Louisiana,
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They drag you off the
Did you
gators
do
eat you.
Fort Polk?
Yes.
Ryan was there. Yeah, for training.
Yeah, that's.
That was. We can't say that either.
He came probably after I was going there, of course. And we had just started building the mock cities, and we were one of the first groups to go through them and have fun with them. And you could crawl through tunnels from here to Walmart and all that.
Oh wow.
But you know, Louisiana's nickname is Sportsman's Paradise, and it is. There's lots of hunting and fishing and everything you can imagine. But when you're in the center part of that state, Shreveport, Fort Polk, DeRidder, Leesville, it gets so hot and so humid, and you don't get any of the Gulf breeze.
Oh,
It is one of the hotter places I've ever, just saturating you.
really?
I was in Panama, but it rained every day and it was windy.
Yeah.
And you get a breeze off the ocean.
You don't think about that.
115 degrees, but at least you had some air movement, even in the jungle.
Yeah.
Down there, it's just stagnant. And you know, it just
Yeah, you don't think about that kind of thing until you're there,
yeah. I just I went from the mountains of Germany to
where it was chilly.
Fort Polk, Louisiana, where it was melting. I was literally on the firing range, never forget it, firing range, and it was snowing. Hey, you're leaving for Fort Polk in 5 days.
Oh
Cool.
wow.
Fort Polk. Where's Fort
Where's
Polk?
that at?
Never heard of it. Next thing you know, I'm on bound for a plane for Louisiana, and it was a good time though. I'd do it all again. You know.
Yeah.
So
I understand. I unfortunately I think Ryan would take the same path.
100%,
I do.
100%.
He was focused, and people that serve, they're committed, and they're just that way.
That's how last night in here in the room, they were thanking me, and I was like, I probably served less time than everyone in that room last night in here. And there's some honorable people, just outstanding human beings on all phases of the game. You know, some very humble, some very quiet, some don't even want to talk about it. But you can look in their heart and their eyes and tell,
see it.
Yeah, you know, and that's good stuff. That's why I want to do that with the remaining World War II guys. We got to figure it out. And I'll message Lindsay and get a hold of you and Bruce and Jerry.
Yeah, that memory interviews. That's one of the things I like about that.
Yeah.
For the bicentennial was doing.
Yeah.
Because that is what you're doing with some of those people before they go.
Yeah.
You should tape that and keep that.
Well, this is on forever. And we put it on YouTube and it's on forever.
Okay, well, we need to share with the museum.
Yeah.
So they can plug in too.
We'll have to get it. We're going to have to make it happen now.
Yeah. So they can share it too, because it'd be really nice. But we do thank you for letting us come. And
as always, you two are always welcome here. You know that. Appreciate what you guys do.
Thank you.
Just amazing people, and I love you guys coming on and showing a little bit who you are, because newspapers, reporters, radio stations, even here, you don't get to know a human being until you sit them down and really talk to them and get them out of their comfort zone, and then get them comfortable again.
Yeah.
Because then the truths come out, and that's what you guys bring every time, and that's what we appreciate. So. Anyway,
thank you for what all you do.
Right.
All the good stuff.
All fun.
It's fun, but it's also good in the work.
Well, thank you.
And
sir.
it's a different platform, that is growing, and the way everything is, that everything's shifting. I'm not sure where it's going, but
I know where I want it to go, but I don't know if we're going to get there.
Well, the
2024.
newspaper.
So.
Yeah, but.
Yeah, newspapers are dying breed, and I hate saying that.
And I wrote for the Reporter for a while, and I enjoyed it. I used to do some council meetings for a city, and for one of the towns, and that wasn't real fun. That was dangerous sometimes. And I was a deputy then, and a couple times I had to say, "I'm stopping my reporter. I'm now working as a deputy," because they got so ugly.
Right.
But them were fun, you know. So I kind of missed the newspaper. I loved holding it myself. I'm one of them.
And I'm one of them too. I love to hold it.
Well, and I'll make it quick. I used to buy the Star or the News or whatever it was that day, and do the crossword puzzle every morning.
Yeah.
And then the Reporter that evening pick it up and do the crossword puzzle.
Can't do that no more.
No. And I mean, I've been in aerospace 34 years, and I bet you 25 of those 34 I did crossword puzzles every morning. But I'm just like, you don't even do that anymore. It's weird.
It is,
that's
and I don't know where it's going to. So, but this is nice because you do reach the people.
We have a good reach.
Uh-huh.
We have, but I mean, it's this community has a lot of good people, and they may not all live here right now,
right.
but they're in Florida, they're in Texas, they're in California, and Illinois, and Ohio. And when they reach, when you pop on, and I think it was 2-3 nights ago, we had someone in here, and I think we had 2 from Texas, 1 from Florida. Heaton was on from the East Coast, and I mean, I just like seeing that.
Yeah.
But we stay connected around here, and I think a lot of small towns across the country do that,
Yeah, that makes
That's
it
right.
nice.
and that's important.
Mm-hmm.
So
And it is because you can.
this
people
is
that's out
one
of town-
advantage that we do have, where you can pop on here and see a friendly face or
Yeah.
a familiar face, or hey, she used to work me over at the jail, so I know.
Yeah. I had you in boot camp. That's why I saw all these people come. They go, "Yeah, I was in boot camp." We see how many people.
I
are
watched him about drive her off the river over at Waverly one day. So.
No, there wasn't nobody to help us, but they might have been watching us. Who knows?
Well,
But if
guys,
you-
thanks as always.
Thank you.
24th,
Thank you.
25th of September,
Mm-hmm.
Waverly Festival, Old Town Waverly Festival. We will be there, and then October 6th.
Mhm.
That is the following.
Mount Pleasant
At Mount
Cemetery.
Pleasant.
Mhm.
We're going to try to get there also on that.
Mhm.
Beth had already got it written down, evidently, so
Yeah,
she
she
says
told me
we're going. So
you may have to do it on the phone, but they do have internet access there.
That's fine.
There's
we have the iPad. I can look
Can
on
do it
that
on there.
or the phone, either way. Thank you all for tuning in tonight, guys. God
Thank
bless
you.
you both.
Thank you.
Hope you have great
Appreciate
weather. The river, and what is it? The good Lord willing, and the river don't rise. That's what
Yeah.
we're hoping for. So.
especially for Halloween.
Now I'm excited about. I may. Is it on the same day as our trick or treat up here?
Well, it wasn't last year, but I don't know what day they're
We'll
going to
get
have.
with that because
Yeah.
that would be fun to go up and
Yeah.
videotape
Yeah.
too.
Ours
so.
is 29th because it's the Saturday before Halloween.
Okay.
So I don't know when the city. They may not posted it yet.
Not heard.
I haven't heard yet, but normally it's Halloween night, actual Halloween.
It'll be like a Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. We can live with that.
Really?
Yeah. It's over with by 8:30 now. So
2 years ago, we had it that way, and it was full moon on Halloween.
Oh,
it was,
yes.
It was a beautiful
It was the
night.
blue moon,
Yes,
and
it was
I had a big
beautiful
metal
night.
thing for the blue moon beer, but it was the blue moon in the sky. And I put it on my wagon, Of course, everybody thought I was drinking the stuff, but that's just
time
because.
for a different story, but we
Yeah, but that's because it was a clutch on the thing.
All right.
It really wasn't.
It wasn't a blue moon at all.
No, it wasn't at all.
promise.
It was
Lita's
just-
the only one that got hung up that
All right. there
I
you go.
never got hung up. It's one of those deals. Don't stop. Just
All
keep
right, gotta
going,
keep
right?
moving.
Yeah.
You guys have a wonderful evening. God
You
bless
too.
you both.
Thank you.
Folks, we will see you soon. Love you all.